Tonight we have a beer from Magic Hat Brewing Company, which is, again, out of Vermont. We haven't done a beer yet from Magic Hat. I usually try to steer clear of it just because, I don't know, just word of mouth. I just hear their beers are not that great, and I have nothing to base that on other than people telling me it is, and basically usually the reviews on beer websites. So usually steer clear of them just kind of for that reason. They're really out there. They kind of have a unique kind of trippy kind of vibe to them. They're almost like the Ben and Jerry's kind of vibe of beer, I guess you can call them. This beer is their pumpkin ale. It's Wilhelm Scream. It comes in at 5.4% alcohol by volume. It's, of course, a pumpkin ale, as I mentioned. Really quick, I'll go through the brewery. It was founded in 1994 in Burlington, Vermont, and now it's owned by a Costa Rican company. They since sold it, which is kind of interesting. Wilhelm Scream. Now, I love the name of this beer. This is part of the reason why I picked it up. I said, well, it is Magic Hat, but you know what? I'm going to pick up this beer because I love the story of the Wilhelm Scream that not many people know about. And it's a movie scream. It's a scream that's stock footage from motion pictures. And I believe the first time it was ever uttered was in 1951 in a movie. I forget the name of the movie, but the character was named Lord Wilhelm, I think. And I believe he was killed or something, and when he was killed or when he was pushed over a boat, he had this scream, this ow kind of scream. What they did was they captured that and they used it in stock footage. So if you watch a movie, and I'm talking like major blockbuster movies, the Lord of the Rings movies, the Star Wars trilogy, Indiana Jones, like all of those major movies and TV shows, Game of Thrones and stuff like that, you will hear every once in a while as an inside joke that Wilhelm Scream, like in an action scene when someone just falls off a cliff, when someone falls overboard, when someone gets killed, shot, whatever. You will hear that same scream. And I used to always know that that was the same scream, but I never knew there was an actual story behind it, and directors and producers, they use it as a kind of a joke. Which is unbelievable to me. But anyway, let's get to the beer now. This gets an 81 on Beer Advocate, which is decent. This is amazing because it gets a 41 on Rate Beer, which is bad. So it gets a decent score on Beer Advocate. I've never seen a 40-point differential between the two websites. And they use pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, and caramel malts. And we'll pour her into this shaker glass here. And we have a very probably too quick of a pour. And this is a head that's dissipating pretty quickly, unlike the Sam Adams one. This is probably getting toward a film of a head, so I'm probably thinking about a third to a quarter of a head right now. It's a little lighter colored than the Sam Adams was. The Sam Adams was a little more full. Let's get the aroma now. Not getting as pumpkin-y as a smell as I was with the Sam Adams either. Very light, kind of cinnamon, nutmeggy kind of smell to this beer. So not really getting a really overwhelming smell out of this. So let's get the taste now. Yeah, the pumpkin is not too prevalent. Not quite as prevalent as I would say the nutmeg and the cinnamon are. This is more of a cinnamon beer to me than a pumpkin beer. I am getting a very light tone of pumpkin to this, but really not quite as strong as I would think I would like from a pumpkin beer, which again is not my style, but I can appreciate. And just the aftertaste is just, I mean, the pumpkin almost completely dissipates in the mouth. Let me see here. Yeah, it's just kind of a light film. I would have to... I would have to say, I mean, compared to the Sam Adams, which I think was decent, was a little bit better than what the reviews had told me on the Sam Adams. I think this beer, I'm more along the lines to agree with Rate Beer than I am with Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate gives a good score, as I said, of 81, Rate Beer at 41. I'm going to probably side a little more with Rate Beer, maybe give it a little higher score than Rate Beer did. I'm going to go ahead and give this a 5 out of 10. Just basically like kind of a weak pumpkin beer. Not the best. I mean, the best part about this beer is the name of it because I get to tell that story. But Yeah, just a very, very light pumpkinish taste. I'm getting more cinnamon and nutmeg, as I said, in the aroma. And it's just a very light pumpkin flavor that just kind of dissipates. And it's a very disappointing representation of the style. So, hence the 5 out of 10 for Wilhelm Scream from Magic Hat.